Suicide Squad director David Ayer speaks out on audiences cheering on failures. If you made good content, we wouldn't be cheering its failure. We're cheering for the failure of bad content because maybe bad content will stop being made once it fails enough. It's not that hard to understand. If you made something good that we liked and it failed, we'd be crying about it, not cheering it on. I'm sure everyone listening can think of at least one movie or show or video game or anime or manga that you really liked but got canceled early because it was just never popular enough. Did you cheer on its failure when you liked it? Hell no. No, you're sad, mad, a combination of both. No, when you have people cheering your failure, it's because you are actively destroying the things they like. Suicide Squad helmer David Ayer is speaking out on how audiences no longer applaud the success of movies. Well, if you made something they liked and succeeded, they'd be applauding the success. It's not hard. David Ayer is weighing in on the audience response to movies these days and how it's changed from a time when he says filmgoers applauded success. Yeah, you mean back in the times when companies actually made movies people wanted to watch? You mean before the woke infestation destroyed everything? You know, in a time when you're allowed to make entertainment and not propaganda? Wow. It's almost like there's a reason for the attitudes of filmgoers changing, huh? I remember a time before the Suicide Squad director said in a post shared on Twitter, a time when audiences applauded success, not cheering on failures. Yeah, those are the times when Hollywood made good movies. When the film meant wonder and magic. Well, maybe if you wouldn't have replaced that wonder and magic with current year propaganda, you guys are the reason there's no wonder and magic anymore. I don't want to hear you complaining. They're not a means of attack when movies were enjoyed, not reverse engineered in hopes of finding ammo to attack. When movies were good, they were enjoyed. I applaud all my colleagues in the industry. I applaud all the people who work in film. I celebrate those with the courage to share a piece of themselves with the world. No, look, dude, you should be applauding the failure of bad movies that should be failing. If you legitimately want cinema to get better, you need to applaud the failure of bad movies. Because if bad movies don't fail, all you get is more bad movies being made. Like, is that the industry you want? I mean, it's almost coming off as that. I think he wants an industry where people can make whatever they want, no matter how bad it is, and still get hundreds of millions of dollars for it. And not get fired when their movies lose money. That's what you want, right? Now, Ayer is no stranger to criticism. When Suicide Squad was a box office success, it was panned upon its release in current year -7. The director has argued that his original cut of the film is vastly different before studio meddling and changed his vision. Well, you want to know why they meddled and changed your vision? It's because of this current year shit. That's why we're cheering on your failures. You should be on our side, dude. And he's lobbied to have his original version released by Warner Bros. Discovery. So this is similar to Zack Snyder's successful campaign to have his Snyder cut of Justice League later released on Max, then HBO Max, which was much more well-received than the theatrical cut of that film. It was, but it wasn't worth it. So, yeah, it was better received, but that's not saying much, is it? It was still a fucking failure. Stephen King asks, why gloat over failure? So Ayer is also not the only one to speak out about the perceived celebration of failure recent movie releases. When the Marvels came up short of the box office release in November, famed author Stephen King sent a post on Twitter. I don't go to MCU movies. I don't care for them, but I find barely math gloating of the low box office for the Marvel very unpleasant. Why gloat over failure? Look, do I have to keep explaining this to these idiots? If you truly care about a hobby, an industry, you want bad things to fail. Because if the bad things don't fail, you just get more of them and you get less of the good ones. Do you really not understand this? Yes. When a movie is bad, It should fail, and its failure should be celebrated, because that sends a message to the studios: quit making dog shit like this and give us good content. Good content should be rewarded with success. Bad content should be punished with failure. It's not hard. Of course, I'm going to celebrate something that's dog shit failing when it was made at the expense of things I like. It's unclear what exactly prompted Ayer's post, but it's worth noting that Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom also came up short in theaters, and there is some social media who've even said seen this is a good thing. Yeah, see, this is the kind of CBR. Now, this is CBR quality right here. That's twice right there. That it sounds like I was tripping over my own tongue, but it's just because they screwed up. Suggesting it's for the best that the DCEU is ending. Yes, bad shit should end. The Aquaman sequel is sure to be losing money at the box office since reviews haven't been much better, but it's not all bad news for Aquaman 2. Its audience score is 79% compared to Rotten Tomatoes score of 36%. Okay, usually our side points out the opposite, like when something is a critical success, like, oh, the critics, it's like a 95%, but audiences, it's 20%. Yeah, they point out that, well, yeah, because the audiences see it and they determine it's shit, which is true. So what about in cases like this? What about if you got a shit movie like Aquaman 2 and its audience score is 79%? How does this happen? Okay, that's an easy explanation too, actually. The type of people who would have given Aquaman a bad review, they finally did what I've been telling them to do and checked out. The type of people who wouldn't have liked this movie just didn't go see it. So it makes sense that its audience score is high because only fanboys and consumers went to go see it. So meanwhile, it's not yet clear if Ayer's director's cut of Suicide Squad will be released. Probably not. So the director has teased he spoke with a few of the new heads of DC Studios about the possibility. It's not going to happen. Now, look, they don't have the money for this. Look, that movie is what, 7 years old now? No one's going to waste their fucking resources on a director's cut of a 7-year-old movie that no one wants. Although maybe if they timed it with the release of the video game, that's like the one possibility you got, but that's it. That's it, man. That's your only chance.